Chapter 8 Method 6 of Mind Control. Controlled opposition. Controlled opposition sets two antithetical sides against each other in a play, act, or fiction to gain a higher ground from which one can witness and control the conflict and keep the spoils of the conflict. The metaphor is a chessboard. An invisible third side controls the outcome. War is the ultimate example of controlled opposition and is an example of divide and conquer. Examples of controlled opposition include politics, national versus labor, Democrat versus Republican, etc. Ultimate example of controlled opposition and is an example of divide and conquer. Sport, regardless of who wins, the profits go to the same people. War. In many cases, both sides of a conflict are financed by the same entities. Banking and finance. Fascism versus communism or socialism. Electric versus fossil fuel. Alternative energy technologies are suppressed, so we are stuck on fossil fuels and unsustainable battery electric technologies. Opposition is resistance, tension or conflict expressed in action or argument. It can be expressed as competition between rivals or political rivalries. Sports teams are also a dialectic with two sides playing against each other. Participants in the dialectic are missing something in their psyche that they seek to satisfy in the controlled opposition. For example, in politics, the participant voter lacks a vehicle for creating change in their lives. The voter lacks knowledge of themselves, so they want an external figure to create change and better their lives for them, and in voting, they believe they will receive change. However, no political figure, no matter how well-intentioned, will correct the fundamental societal problems. The participants in the dialectic will still need to gain the self-knowledge they sought. The change will never happen, because it is a controlled puppet show that was never real. It makes no difference if you vote National or Labor, Democrat or Republican, Conservative or Liberal, or whatever political party, the same dynamic forces will control real change. These occultists rule the financial world and banking institutions. They are occult forces that control the minds and thinking of humanity. Like in The Wizard of Oz, people look at the puppet show, but not behind the curtain to see who is pulling the strings. Dialectic is used in the seeming opposites of the liberal and conservative media. The dialectic is always to get you to look at controlled opposition, never to look at yourself, and to work upon the self. The dialectic is all a distraction, so there will never be real change and benefit to society. High-level occultists want war. They manufacture the weapons, manage the conflict's debt, own the fuel, and meter it out to create this consciousness of scarcity and limitation. They manage the mechanisms through which wars are fought, weaponry, energy, and the money needed for both. The same central bank will fund both sides of a conflict, resulting in enormous debt. The debt that arises from fighting wars is used to control countries. The Hegelian dialectic. The Hegelian dialectic is thesis, antithesis, synthesis, in other words, problem, reaction, solution, or chaos, confusion, opportunity. A chaotic situation creating confusion is an example of chaos sorcery. The elitist for protection and help, safety and security, to help solve the problem. Then, the government offers the solution they planned long before the crisis occurred, a solution that would have otherwise been unpopular. Manipulating consciousness into circular patterns of thoughts and actions guides our thoughts and actions into conflicts that lead to a predetermined solution. Dialectics is a far more efficient prison than a dictatorship. But, of course, you can see the prison bars with a dictatorship. Still, with a dialectical system where you are given the illusion of choice, you will never see the dictatorship that elitists manage.